For somebody that prides himself on not being super judgmental to people like us, I felt like he was kind of laughing at our topic, and then we got him. Well, we got the fish on the line.
He started by saying, little golf talk this morning. Like, there are a million things to talk about.
He couldn't believe Augusta caved.
And he's right to criticize us for that. But then we revealed to him that Augusta has caved, and now they are allowing players on the LIV Tour, Mike, to play at Augusta, which was really the last bit of leverage the PGA Tour had over their golfers.
Yeah, I mean, eventually they'll just be the only game in town, right? That's the goal. The goal is just buy everybody out. You know what this reminds me of, actually? Can I tell you a brief story?
Yeah.
So I was having this discussion with Bill Simmons, who's a good friend of mine.
Sports guy.
So Bill and I were thinking about like times in history when major sports leagues kind of went off the rails, right? And he was like, you know what this reminds me of? And then he told me that he had been having a conversation with Seth Meyers from SNL.
Is that for Simmons?
And Seth is actually a very good friend of mine. He was actually the best man at my wedding.
He was?
Seth was the best man at my wedding. So I hadn't talked to Seth in a long time. So I texted him. I was like, hey, can you talk about this thing Simmons and I were talking about? And he was like, I can't. I'm out to dinner with Amy Poehler. Mike. So I was like, well, let's just FaceTime. Let's just all FaceTime right now, because I haven't talked to Amy in a long time. Amy and I used to work together at Parks and Recreation. So they FaceTimed us. So it was me and Bill Simmons and Amy Poehler and Seth Meyers, and we're all FaceTiming. And Amy, I was like, Amy, do you know Bill? And she was like, I don't think so, but they're from the same neighborhood in Boston. And he was like, oh, you're from Lexington? And she was like, no, I can't remember where she's from. He was like, oh, you're thinking of John Krasinski. I also used to work with John Krasinski at The Office. And so they were kind of catching up, and they were talking about Boston. We were all talking about Boston. And then into Simmons' house walked Mike O'Malley, the writer and actor Mike O'Malley.
Ooh, from Guts?
From Guts. And Mike and I are old friends, too, because he was actually on an episode of Parks and Recreation that I wrote a long time ago. So we were all talking about this, and then we realized that what's really going on here, essentially, is that these sports leagues have just decided that, you know, like LIV Golf, that they just don't care about the consumer anymore. And I was like, I mean, they're not wrong to. I can't remember the last time I watched golf, and then I remembered the last time I had watched any golf at all. I was watching a golf match here in Los Angeles with Steve Carell from Parks and Rec, from The Office, and I can't remember who else was there. I want to say John Krasinski was actually there too. But the point is that we hadn't. I just hadn't watched golf in a long time, and that's why something like LIV Golf can get away with what they're getting away with. Woody, how'd I do?
Was there a story?
How'd I do, Woody? Wait,
that was 11. Look at me, Louies.
Yeah,
that's a record.
So that is an all-time record. We got to give him the fanfare for that all-time record for Look at Me, Louies.
Yeah. Well done.
Thank you so much. I wish I had an actual trophy to hold, but for now I'll just hold this Emmy.
Wow!
No, hold on. Sorry, it's too big. I'm gonna hold this Peabody Award that I won instead.
Kind of underwhelming award.
Thank you, Le Batard Show. Thanks to Amin Al-Hassan for inventing the term "Look at me, Louie." I think accidentally, like he was maybe trying to say "looky Lou," and then by accident made up a term that we all use. Anyway, thanks to him, of course. Thanks to all the legends of the "Look at me, Louie" game, the guys I grew up watching and idolizing for their ability to always make it all about them. J.J. Watt, John Harbaugh, Aaron Rodgers, Monty Williams, Elon Musk,
Salt Bae,
Nick Saban, everyone who's ever hosted a Drive Time Boston area sports talk radio show, LeBron, The Rock, most Major League Baseball umpires, all NBA referees, anybody who posts a picture on Twitter when a celebrity dies just to prove that they knew the celebrity. Of course, Darren Rovell is a good one, and of course, Chris Whittingham. Thank you. I'm so proud to hold the all-time Le Batard Show record for most Look at Me Louies in one segment. Thank you.
Way to go. Very good. Congratulations.